Over 20 million Americans over the age of 12 have an addiction. We discuss this alarming problem and the treatment options with the president of Seabrook House. We also enjoy the music of young talented artists and greetings for the Hispanic Heritage Month. It's all here on the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation, and Stockton University. This edition of Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is brought to you by the HD Studios at the campus of Stockton University. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas. Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. Over 20 million Americans over the age of 12 have an addiction problem, resulting in 100 deaths every day from drug overdose. Joining me to discuss this alarming problem and the treatment options is Edward Deal. He is the president of Seabrook House. Ed, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thanks, Bert. It's a pleasure to be here.
Very major problem in healthcare, addiction, and it's something that is widespread. It impacts everybody, doesn't it?
It does. Every family knows somebody with an addiction problem. Most families have a relative, a loved one, who has an addiction problem, actually. It is called America's #1 health problem.
And, it's not just the addict. Obviously, you mentioned the families. They go through the whole struggle. Reading some of the statistics, and it also shows that there's danger on the road because of addiction, right? You got over 9 million people who indicate that they've driven under the influence of some sort or the other. So there's a lot of issues, a lot of impact on our society.
Oh, absolutely. The alcoholic alone, separate from other drug-addicted individuals, seriously affects the lives within a family of 4 other people on average. So that's why we call this such an enormous health problem to our communities everywhere, regardless of age, ethnicity, wealth or lack of wealth, education or lack of education. To develop an addiction problem is non-discriminatory. I mean, anybody who drinks or uses drugs has the potential of progressing toward addiction.
I know within the Latino community, the numbers pretty much mirror the Anglo community, but you have some additional data in terms of the impact on the Latino community as well as the impact in New Jersey.
Yes, in New Jersey, Bert, about 70,000 residents of New Jersey were treated for addiction last year, either in an outpatient or a residential facility or both, about 70,000. Statistically, about 15% of those who were treated were Latino. And that really mirrors the averages within our community about the numbers of persons who are Latino, the percentage of the entire population. So the problem of drug addiction and alcoholism is not significantly greater or less in Latino communities than in Anglo communities.
Basically getting the treatment and staying in the treatment. There is somewhat of a disparity there between the Anglo community and the Latino community.
There is. The differences are, in some respects, cultural. There are the understood language challenges to some members of the Latino communities going to places like Seabrook House, where the majority of employees do not speak Spanish, and so it makes it difficult. The comfort level of Latino individuals seeking health care broadly is more difficult than it is for Anglo communities. So there's those challenges, but also there are advantages, if you will. We defined addiction as a family disease in that every member of the family is affected, is hurt by loving a person who has lost their ability to manage their lives because of drink and drugs. The advantage, I say, about if we could talk stereotypes for a minute, we have in my career been always very, very pleased when we invite Hispanic family members to come to our family program. Large numbers of family members come. And we are impressed as professional treatment providers that Hispanic families participate and join hands in the struggle to help their loved one get well.
Essentially, who comes for help? Is it usually the addict or is it usually the family?
It's usually the family member, the loved one, who steps forward first and says, my husband, my wife, my child, my parent is having a problem. What do I do? So we start with the family member typically, and then we develop a way to intervene to get face-to-face with the person who has the addiction problem.
So we actually want to discuss some of those treatment options when we come right back, but we're actually going to go and listen to Brandy Orango. She is Miss Puerto Rico of Atlantic County. Let's listen into her music, a tribute to Puerto Rico with the song Preciosa.
Yo sé lo que son los encantos de mi Borinquen hermosa, por eso la quiero yo tanto, por siempre la llamaré preciosa. Yo sé de tus hembras trigueñas, sé del olor de sus rosas, por eso a mi tierra rinqueña por siempre la llamaré preciosa. Isla del Caribe, isla del Caribe, Borinquen. Preciosa te llaman las olas del mar que te baña. Preciosa por ser un encanto, por ser un Edén. Y tienes la noble hidalguía de Madre España. Y el fiero cantillo del indio bradio lo tienes también. Preciosa te llaman los bardos que cantan tu historia. No importa el tirano de trate con negra maldad. Preciosa será sin bandera, sin lauros ni gloria. Oh, preciosa, preciosa, te llaman los hijos de la libertad.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion on addiction and treatment options with Ed Deal. And Ed, as president of Seabrook House, obviously you have some treatment options for those individuals that are going through addiction. Tell me a little bit about some of the treatment options and the program that you head up.
Sure, Bert. The struggle to recover from an active drug addiction or alcoholism is a very difficult undertaking. Mm-hmm. It takes time, and so it's not a quick fix, and it doesn't happen overnight. And detoxification, which is the medically supervised withdrawal process from addictive drugs, getting somebody medically off of substances, happens typically in like 3 to 5 days. But that doesn't get a person fixed because it's a biological illness as well as a psychological illness and a spiritual or social dilemma. So the psychosocial portions of addiction need much time to teach the person with the drug problem how to live without drugs. And so that can happen in a residential program or an outpatient program, dependent upon the severity of the patient's sickness when they present themselves. And Seabrook House has all of those kinds of programs. We have a very large campus for our residential program in Cumberland County, between Vineland and Bridgeton, New Jersey. And then we have outpatient facilities in Morristown, way up north, Cherry Hill, Northfield, and soon to open in Freehold in Monmouth County.
The addict has to be willing to go in for treatment. How do families help an addict get to that point?
The stigma, the prejudice against persons with addiction is born out of the idea that the way an addicted person presents themselves is that they are obnoxious, they are not mean sometimes, they are not good parents or husbands or wives. It's that stereotype. But the truth of the addicted person is they don't know that their behavior is disturbing everyone around them. They're the last to know. So when a family with professionals try to convince the person to get help, they typically say yes to Seabrook House quite reluctantly. And our job is to help them wake up to the truth of what's going on in their lives, and their lives have become unmanageable. Step one of Alcoholics Anonymous is that we admit we're powerless over drugs and alcohol. And the second thought is our lives have become unmanageable. And from that recognition springs forth a whole healing process that takes many days, many months, and years. I myself am a person in long-term recovery. And I know that it doesn't happen overnight or easily. That's why entire families and communities have to join in fighting this problem.
The fact that they go in for treatment, do you see them easily accepting treatment? Is there a struggle for them to stay in the treatment? Often hear that
Sometimes.
addicts have to go into treatment several times. There's a relapse that occur. Does that usually happen?
That is true. The relapse rate of persons struggling to get clean and sober, as we call it, are less than patients who have difficulty with hypertension, okay, or depression, or diabetes. So those other illnesses, we do better with addiction than medical science does in trying to help a patient with those problems.
We need to talk how this is paid for. And
Sure.
we're going to take a quick break. We're going to hear a message from one of our queens from the Puerto Rican parade.
Terrific.
We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Hola, my name is Brandy Arango. I am Miss Puerto Rico of Atlantic County 2016. I am honored and blessed to represent my Hispanic heritage and invite you to join me in honoring the contributions of Hispanics as we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Gracias.
Hola, my name is Diliana Valentin and I am Miss Puerto Rico Juvenile of Atlantic County 2016. I am proud to represent my Hispanic heritage and invite you to join me in honoring the contributions of Hispanics as we celebrate Hispanics Heritage Month. Adelante.
As the state's premier Hispanic gathering, this annual summit attracts more than 550 participants, including top government, business, labor, community, and professional leaders for a day filled with renowned speakers, important workshops, symposium, cultural celebration, and exciting entertainment at the gala. Our goal is providing scholarships to our students in higher education. This fall semester, 5 freshmen entering Rowan University will receive a $1,000 scholarship towards tuition. This all-day summit also provides different organizations, agencies, and companies access to the Hispanic market, branding, and excellent networking. It is a great opportunity to continue to be heard and understood by government representatives, CEOs of corporations, and nonprofits. We strive for a better future for our children and grandchildren, so we can continue to grow as a community.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion at addiction, and we have Ed Dio here with Seabrook House. And Ed, we were talking about some of the recovery options. Obviously, Seabrook House is one of them. But how do people pay for it? Do insurance companies pay for treatment?
Insurance companies do. Typically, it's a struggle to get the support from insurance programs that are recommended by professionals treating the patient. So it's a struggle. For families, it's a struggle for the treatment provider. But yes, most insurance companies do pay for treatment. And persons without health insurance in our community, there are resources that are funded through the state of New Jersey. And if you call 800-582-5968, which is our helpline, we have 24-hour phone responders who will refer the caller to places that could best support them based on their condition or their ability to pay.
And we see the struggle that we're having with the opioid
Yes.
challenges that police departments, everyone's having. It's more and more important to get treatment.
Oh, absolutely. And it is a desperate problem for young people who are thrown off track with their academics because they get into a very quick, deadly addiction to opiates. And that is the most challenging onslaught of a particular drug affecting young people that I've known in my career.
What message do you give to an addict?
The message we give to those who care about an addict is do not hesitate to reach out and push that addict to help. Never give up on a family member, a loved one, a fellow student, a neighbor, because the last person to realize that the problem is very, very bad is the person with it. It's those of us around it. So it really does take a village to help a drug addict as well as to raise a child.
So there is a website as well as a phone number, then we'll put that up
There
on the
is.
screen for your services, but there are many other treatment centers and programs throughout South Jersey.
Absolutely. We have a very diverse range of services, and we are blessed in South Jersey that we have care at every level, from hospitalization to sober living homes, and we are happy to help the community guide people in need to where they best are suited to go.
So if someone is not able to pay, you say that there are options for them?
There is.
Is that through the state of New Jersey or through your programs?
It is, but we as a treatment provider can help connect folks to that.
So you have counselors as well that could help with the financing of the treatment?
Yes, we do.
As well.
Yes, we do.
Very, very important, particularly for those needy families
Our
that really need the help.
community is stepping up in a very big way to confront addiction like never before, and that's good news, because people get well.
Very important information, and obviously you're a good example of someone that's gone through and have gotten well.
Yes, many members of my family have recovered from addiction, and we're a pretty happy group today.
Thank you for sharing this vital message with our community, and thank you for joining us at home once again here on Latino Motion.
Choose quality, value, distinction. Choose Stockton.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, healthcare you can believe in. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.